Holy shit. What can I tell you, folks? I don't know what to tell you. I do know how this game went back and forth, and somebody had to win, somebody has to lose. Neither team's a playoff team, I can tell you that. But I'd rather be the team that wins than be the team that loses. Welcome to the post-game show. I am Mr. Moohead, and joining me, a group of people, including the Meadows' own John Grassoff from Sarasota, Florida.
Hey, Moo.
Hey.
Before you continue, I tuned it off. Did we win or lose?
Oh, we won. You see blood coming out of my wrists if we didn't.
Also, with 7 seconds left to go, the Ravens are about to lose to the Raiders at home.
I saw the field goal. I saw that before I came in.
It's official. Game over.
Game over. Brian in Phoenix is joining us. Tony the Calf in Minnesota. Bronk on the 480 bridge. And David Talevsky, one of the great insiders here on Moohead Radio. What I'm going to say, the first thing that I always like to say, these shows are very reactionary. The first thing that I would say about this is the biggest single blunder in the game, and there were so many, was when Doug Peterson did not go for it on fourth down when he had the Browns on the ropes. They could have taken the lead, and that would have been it. There would have been no resolve as far as the Browns were concerned. So he didn't. And instead, you saw what happened.
Hey, Moo, you got to give me a minute. I'm having an earbud issue, so I'll be with you in a minute.
Okay. So,
I'd almost argue against you. I would think that, well, it's hindsight now that the Browns won the game, but I think Watson not eating the sack with 1:30 left, that was bad. I mean, that gave the Jaguars an extra 30 plus seconds.
Well, that's a play call that I didn't like. Like I said, there were a lot of blunders.
Yeah.
Just a lot of mistakes. I mean, the Browns went from winning the football game to Deontay Foreman committing a face mask himself while he was running the ball, and then the ball proceeded to move back 30 yards from penalties, one after another.
Can I just make a quick comment? As for Deontay Foreman and that face mask, and for every other fucking penalty that we got called on, where was the Jacksonville penalties being called on them? They ended up getting saved, all those delay of game penalties from dodgy timeout calls that were probably after the double zeros came up. They got saved on that Devontae Foreman play because they were helmet grabbing at the same time. Why not call a penalty on both of them and offset that? So many holding calls that could have been done on Myles Garrett that did not happen. I mean, the refs were trying to give this game to Jacksonville or whoever they were trying to give the game to. It was just outrageous.
Yeah, I'm all I can say, and David's back in here. All right. That was the first thing, is that this was such a game of momentum. And when you have it, you grab it, especially when you're the home team. The Browns looked like they were toast. They really did. And they would not have stopped. They weren't stopping anything. They were in a rhythm, and that disrupted the rhythm. Then they missed a short field goal. The first half, they were totally inept. And in the second half, we were totally inept. Then we have what should have been the game-winning drive, and instead the ball goes backwards when the team loses its composure again. And then
multiple holding penalties. Did I read that right?
Yeah. Inexplicably.
3 in a row.
Yep. Inexplicably. Hold on. Let me finish a sentence, please.
I got you.
Inexplicably, Trevor Lawrence eating a safety, nobody knowing the rule when they line up for an onside kick that they can't kick an onside kick.
They can't do because it's not a free kick. It's a fucking punt.
So, it was a game full of blunders.
A place kick or a punt. You can
Yeah.
you have
Well,
your choice as
They had the
kicking
punter
team.
out there.
Well,
So,
he probably can boom it a lot further than the place kicker.
Well,
Then.
it's
Well,
kind of
he just kicked it up in the air.
moot
That's all he
point, yeah.
did.
Yeah. He just kicked it, floated in the air.
And according to what they said, it had to be a punt. It couldn't be a kickoff.
But anyway, I don't know. I'm sure we'll get some apology for that one from the NFL.
Yeah. So again, neither team was what I would consider to be on their game.
Oh God, they're both awful. Jesus.
Yeah.
We have no offensive line.
And what I don't understand, again, Trevor Lawrence, I'm just going to refer to him henceforth as Fabio.
Great hair.
I still call him Sunshine from the Remember the Titans.
Yeah, he has gray hair though. God damn it.
Yeah, Fabio is.
He looks like a woman.
Well,
no.
And he talks just like a woman.
Thank you, Bob.
And he takes safeties just like a woman. And he squeals just like a little girl.
He had one decent play, maybe two. The
one
entire game.
Long pass was a Hail Mary.
One long run.
And if nobody believes me that Newsome isn't too small to play that position in the NFL,
he's too small.
Maybe you'll believe me. He just got pushed away with a finger, and they got separation, and he was just not able to stop that play. But, everything was going in their favor, and then it just, after the decision not to go for it.
Yeah, Peterson fucking lost that game.
Yeah, I think so. And here's Christopher Milton. Hi, Christopher.
Oh,
hey.
Did Stefanski do his normal, hey, I'm going to take my foot off the gas in the second half, correct?
Well,
no, not really is right. I would say that the Browns couldn't run the football in the second half. It looked like the offense was figured out.
Made adjustments and
no, we don't make adjustments. And I just don't think we have any receivers who can get down the field
or catch, for God's sake.
They're midgets.
Judy.
They're midgets with bad hands.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So that's what I
was actually
noticed.
shocked that Malcontent actually caught the fucking ball.
Yeah, Judy was the only one playing today.
Yeah, and Amari Cooper, for everybody who has stood up for him,
he sucked.
If this is a hangover from his wanting to go to the 49ers, then we should get rid of him. Yeah, if this is an indication of what he's going to put out on the field, because it's totally unprofessional, or he's just old, an incredibly bad game, or he's washed up.
Hey, when did that news come out about him wanting to go to San Fran? I never heard that.
That was back when we were trying to trade.
Was it?
When Ayuk was talking about coming to the Steelers and the Patriots and all these other fucking teams. And then he piped up and said, oh, well, I could go to, if you want to bring him to the Browns, I could go to the 49ers.
Oh.
Yeah, great guy.
If you didn't hear, there were gunshots around the golf course of Donald Trump's that he was, there was nothing imminent in the thing. I think it's a publicity stunt. Whatever, you can take it any way you want to take it.
Well, Red Zone didn't break their coverage.
But you never.
So.
It could be a road rage incident. You don't know exactly. So
yes.
Oh, I was gonna say, did you guys discuss how the Ravens game actually ended?
Yes.
No, I didn't see that because I was too busy watching the Browns try to lose.
Yes.
Lamar had wide open running room and just decided to dump the ball off.
Wow.
He could have taken himself and won the game on a run.
Yeah, but the previous series to that, Max Crosby did a stunt and came unblocked and just drilled the fucking shit out of him.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And then they punted the ball away, and the punt went out of bounds after 20 yards or something. And they also committed a 5-yard penalty on top of it. So they gave Gardner Minshew pretty much free reign to just get enough yards to kick a field goal.
Yeah.
I said I didn't believe the Ravens were going to run it back.
And I wanted to point out, I was only mentioning the former president because it was a news story. And, anytime you have something like that happen, it's a news story. So,
the Secret Service has come out and said that they exchanged gunfire with an armed person on the golf course property.
There you go.
So, there you go.
All right. So, and as far as please don't speak his name again, everybody knows where I stand. And believe me, it has cost this podcast almost half of its viewers. And if I lose the rest of you, I don't care. I'm still going to do it.
You won't.
I'm not going anywhere.
If I'm
as
20,
long as you let the opposite happen too. If I can talk shit about fucking Camel Toe Harris wearing out her knee pads,
that's why you have a
fucking her way to the
podcast.
Goddamn.
That's why
race
you
event
have a
to her
podcast. That's
offense.
why you have a podcast. That's why you have a podcast. Now, my podcast, I talk about the Browns.
Yeah, let's talk football, guys. No problem.
Yeah, that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Moo.
but as
Yeah.
long as it's balanced.
Fair and balanced.
Oh my God, Moo, they're making me so nervous.
Yeah.
We needed that so bad.
I did not take my blood pressure.
Well,
Fucking hell.
as soon as
Mine is up. Mine is up. So
Well,
last week,
Hammer's okay,
was,
man.
I was drinking coffee. This week I'm not drinking coffee.
as
Y'all
soon as
need-
Watson
see, you
threw
got
that
to,
in,
if you want to avoid that, just have the Yahoo scoreboard up, and then
Yep.
just watch my Panthers lose.
You were
Bet
right
against
about
the
that.
Panthers and watch them
fuck.
lose.
You were spot on with that.
That was
prediction.
money, man.
Never
That was money.
Be lower in your life.
That,
Oh,
but
everyone should have
having
been
watched
J.K.
Morgan.
Dobbins, for the fantasy
J.K.
football
Dobbins.
people,
Hi, Big
I
Ripper.
missed on J.K. Dobbins going off like he did, and he looked like he did at Ohio State,
Yeah, he
running down the
had a
fucking
good
field.
game.
So,
but I mean, we've
know?
all watched the Browns for 20 years
Saturday
now.
night,
Some of us more. Once Watson's pass hit the ground and you know that they were giving him the ball with 1:30, you just knew that. Oh fuck, they're gonna
If he
go
was
get the
tackled
touchdown.
behind the line of scrimmage, Tony,
Correct.
it wouldn't have
Yeah.
mattered. It would have stopped the clock. So,
Yeah.
learn the rules
Yeah.
and don't, it's easy to throw mud at one player, but the truth is that player looked great in the first half. He looked
yeah,
precise. He was, right where he needed to be.
he was like 11 of 13 or something.
He was
like
on
that.
target, and the only things were drops by Amari Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper dropped the ball a couple times in the first. And the reason why we looked good in the first half, the entire team, was that the offensive line was fresh. We come out in the second half, hold the ball, and our fucking tackles and our guards and Botonio, everybody goes to shit. So it wasn't Watson's fault that any of that.
Hey, Moo. I'm sorry, y'all. I have a question for you.
Sure.
So, do you think the NFL they would hate if Watson got to the Super Bowl, right?
Hey,
Oh yes, they would.
yes. Yes. they
So,
would.
somewhere down the line, we're gonna get shafted then.
Yes,
Like every game.
especially against
don't
Kansas
know.
City.
Honestly, I don't think we need to get shafted. Right now, we look like our own worst
We can
enemy.
shaft ourselves just as well.
That's
See if
right.
NFL
Thank
can
you.
Shaft us.
Yeah, but some of those calls, man, I was just like,
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. I
seriously?
get it, Chris.
how many offensive penalties can you get?
Well, you're trying to tell me that
Again, the
Jacksonville-
Carolina Panthers just yelled, "Hold my beer."
That's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
saying, can you top this?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Carolina don't
Hey,
have
we had
enough.
11, 13 penalties this
we-
week. Let's go for 15.
We have a chance. Carolina has no chance.
Oh no, they're going winless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know
I'm
what
gonna be
chance
sitting
the Browns
2 and
really
32.
have. I don't know what
Well-
chance the Browns have, honestly, because there's no running game. And where
There's
you
no
can't
running
run.
game.
And in the beginning of the game, Deontay Foreman had some good gains, and we had a big play from Jerome Ford. And
36 yards.
yeah,
Correct.
I mean, and it
Amazing.
was like we were at least a little more balanced. And second half came, and it's
That
like,
means he falls on his face if they could try to time him for the 40.
and they started the half with Pierre Strong back there. And I
Oh,
can't
and that was like a loss of 6 straight away, wasn't it?
I can't
Yep.
figure it out. And I also
I
can't
have
figure
injury
out
news.
why Prochet instead of the guy they cut.
Yeah, they got rid of Darden. He's like,
Yeah.
he's at the quick stop.
Well, I think that was strictly for returning yards.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have injury news.
Yes.
David Bell dislocated his hip.
Yeah. Well, look, you could look at him funny,
Ooh,
and he would
that
come up
sounds
lame.
painful.
Now,
That's fine.
Didn't David Bell go off with a shin injury in one of the preseason games after he
he was hurt all preseason.
very early on?
Yep. Yeah, he did.
Well, that just doesn't. A dislocated hip does not sound fun.
Well, no, I can tell you this. If you look at how it happened, he is just made of balsa wood.
Yeah, he's like
I
one of
mean,
those little rubber
those
band
little airplanes you used
Yeah.
to fly when you were a little kid. That's
Those
what
are
he's
great.
made of. I mean,
I brought back paper mache, so you can use
I
that.
hope that we never see him again because
think we
he's
will.
gone for weeks, months, seasons, and then he comes back for 10 minutes and then he's hurt again. You can't
And he'll-
rely on
He'll
that.
look great
He's
in the
Warren
first
Tillman.
preseason game.
But what does it tell you if David Bell can come back from the practice squad
From the
and,
dead.
and Cedric Tillman, another third-round draft pick, can't
Another great
get
third
on the
round.
fucking field?
Yeah.
What does it tell you?
Yeah.
We don't have wide receivers, and they're always everyone's close to them. There's no separation,
Yep.
and it's just and there isn't enough time for Watson to have anything but a first option.
And
And
again, they haven't really changed anything, even though it's
No.
supposedly a brand new.
now this is not the same
Oh,
thing.
here we go. Here we
playing,
go.
The play calling is still the same, so they know exactly what kind of routes that Stefanski is going to call, so they can just play those routes.
You know, CO Dad, I give him credit when he makes a good play call, like the fake
He
sneak
did.
when it went to Jerome Ford. That was he
In the
had the
Bengals
corner,
even.
he got the corner
Yep.
because he sold the keeper, and that's smart. But yeah, I don't understand the whole concept. I don't understand how we trade for players who can't help us. I don't
Right.
see how a faster guy like Kadarius Toney could be any worse than Elijah Moore, who can't catch.
Yeah, if you can't catch, you can't catch. Doesn't matter how fast
Hey,
you
man,
are.
what do you think's wrong with Cooper, man? He's dropping stuff that he should have.
He should
He
be gone.
doesn't look like he has separation. He doesn't look like he's running patterns. It was wet outside. He wasn't able to do those quick footwork kinds of things. It
Well,
looked like
well,
he was wearing the wrong spikes, or he really
Yeah.
does want to play for the 49ers. One or the
Is
other.
he
Yeah,
another
that's what I was
Beckham
gonna
Jr.
ask
in the
you.
making?
I'm sorry. I can only make out one at a time.
Go ahead.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you think he's irritated about the 49ers possible trade?
Yeah, it would be if let's put it this way. Amari Cooper's been a good citizen every place he's played. So I don't really want to go there. If it were Deshaun Watson, it would be that he forcibly fucked 16 more women, and that would be the reason. I mean, the fact of the matter is nobody's going to point the finger at Amari Cooper. He's a veteran who's always had a good attitude, but by doubling down and basically not saying, well, that's not what I meant when I posted that, he just said, yeah, well, it was what it was. And now he's playing in a lackadaisical way.
So he's going to turn into another Beckham Jr. situation.
No, I just think that his feelings are hurt, and I don't know what else. But I don't think that Amari Cooper saves this team. If you double Amari, still the other guys have to catch the ball, and we just don't have that. And I thought we'd see more of Jordan Akins. We only saw one reception at the beginning of the game from him.
Did he play? I mean, I didn't see him at all.
Yeah, he was out there a little bit.
Yeah, he actually caught a big pass.
And they had him in there
for like 18 yards or something.
Yeah.
Blocking with all the big offensive linemen.
Oh, 10 yards.
Yeah.
Good go.
But it was for a major first down in the first half.
Well, I think I was getting my dinner then.
Yeah, I just don't get it. I'm like, Cooper was the best we had last year.
But he's a year older, and they didn't practice very much. And, I was talking to some people who really follow the team. I mean, literally follow the team, and not just,
Women?
online. No. And, all of those Greenbrier practices, half of them were rained out. They just look like a team. They looked in the beginning of this game 100 times better than what they were last game.
Yeah.
But in the second half, they settled down and started putting pressure on Watson because we couldn't run the football. And then when we try to run the football, then they got holding calls on us. So it was very difficult for the Browns to do a damn thing. And if you look at the, the team stats, the Jacksonville Jaguars out-yarded us, gained us 323 to 297.
Wow.
We had 10 more plays than they did. We only averaged 4.6 yards a play. I mean,
hey, Dearness Johnson had 5 carries for 26 yards.
Dearness looked good like he always does, and I don't know why he's not the starting running back for them. He's a better running back than Travis Etienne.
Do you think that Cooper misses Flacco?
I don't know why anyone. I don't know.
Well, how do you answer that?
They can move in with one another.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, exactly a crazy system.
Ain't that far away.
The great equalizer in this game, penalties 13 for 100 yards against the Browns versus 6 and 52 for them. So to win a game that you've been penalized 100 yards.
And especially on that last drive where they had the ball.
That's horrible.
They got penalized back to back to back, where all you need to do at one point in time is get a first down and the game's over.
Correct.
Yeah, and we had a time of possession 34 minutes to 25. And would you out-possession somebody that much? It sounds like the only way that they could keep them close to the game was the 100 yards worth of penalties.
Yeah. Bojorquez bailed them out. If it wasn't for that punt getting to the 1 yard line, they would have lost that game, because I am absolutely totally convinced that Lawrence would have brought him down the field, got the field goal. They would have ended up winning in overtime. I'm just because we had just turned to complete garbage at that point.
Question for the panel. When that ball landed on the 1 and there was 99 yards to go, how many people thought that Lawrence was going to drive 99 yards and we'd have this rammed in our face for the next 40, 50 fucking years?
Like
actually, I thought about Elway in Denver.
Yeah, we all did. Man.
Honestly,
we did. Yep.
Yes,
honestly,
I did.
I don't think Lawrence is good enough.
About Elway in Denver.
Yeah.
Well, they already had a 66-yard play to Brian Thomas in this game.
Correct.
I want to address what Jim Giles is saying in here, and he's right.
Yep, he did. He got totally fucking douched. He got
dragged to the ground. I mean, that has to be some kind of a screen on a reception. And that was a huge third down bailout.
Yeah.
Thank God thank God they play on grass there.
Yeah, he would have fucking ripped out half of his leg.
Yeah. But I mean, he was literally tackled.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been like his 18th fucking concussion.
But see, that comes back to the NFL. Are they actually, if we're that good, are they going to want us in the Super Bowl?
No.
There is no Super Bowl. Stop with the Super Bowl. The team's not good enough to be in the Super Bowl.
I'm just saying, Moo, it seems like they're against who they're playing. They're against the refs. And the NFL doesn't want to see Watson there.
Well, it's
got nothing to do with Watson.
Again, I'm so tired of conspiracy theories. I mean, if the team played better, I would defend them. But the bottom line is they don't play well enough to get that consideration. They had this game won.
Correct.
And they gave the momentum right to the Jaguars, and they deserve to lose as much as the Jaguars. It was a coin flip by the time it was all said and done.
They should have scored over 20 points in this game.
Oh, God, yeah.
And yeah, we have to be better. We have to be better. We played a good first half, but we underscored. We should have had, the kicker wandering over the 50-yard line. We got a turnover that didn't count. And that just, these are the kind of absent-minded mistakes that create what we see. And it will continue for the rest of the year because this is who our team is. They don't catch the ball well. They're not fast enough at the wide receiver position, and the offensive line is crippled.
Yeah.
Can't run the football. Can't protect the quarterback.
Yeah, let's talk about team. Wilson Conklin, conked out again. Where the fuck are they, these blokes?
Who?
Our offensive tackles that are permanently inactive.
Well, I don't know, but I mean, you put a guy like Ifedi in the game. What do you expect is going to happen?
He's horrible. And Hudson's
He's
just
a practice
like,
squad player. He's a practice squad guy.
Jesus.
Hey, well, listen,
Remind me of the COVID wide receivers.
Yeah.
Cleveland is 1-1.
Hired him from the Citgo.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Big Lurker. Thanks for the quote. Coop's a pro. He'll be just fine, but he wasn't just fine.
No, he's horrible.
I mean, he did end up with 3 catches, but I don't know how many drops there were off of that.
It was at least
He had
3.
8 targets.
8 targets. And that they were
I
all.
know of at least 2 or 3, at least 2 that were. See, and here's the thing too, and I think all of us have watched him for a while would have said that some of the drops that he had are plays that he would normally make.
Correct.
That are slightly difficult but catchable balls.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas we wouldn't expect Elijah Moore to make that catch, but we expect Cooper to make it because we've seen him do it over and over again. So
and Elijah Moore also had 8 targets, but 6 catches for 44 yards.
And Jerry Jeudy looked good right there at that end, that last drive that they had as well.
I just hope 5 out of 6. Out.
We're going back now to Shermer, Pat Shermer. We battled. We battled.
Yeah, I just hope Cooper hasn't checked out.
Well,
as long as they don't
you saw what he did. You can,
yes.
And the fact that the coach is saying, "Well, he's a pro. He's a pro." That's a way of saying he's not gonna moan and whine for too long because he's a pro.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it's amazing. This program would be the only one who would even suggest such a thing because they would be blaming somebody else.
They would be blaming anybody but him. But how about those St. Louis
on the
Cardinals?
On the upside, you actually had 125 yards rushing.
But that was one play, 56 yards, right? I mean, we started out the game running.
36.
We started out the game with a little balance, and it just went away.
Watson was 5 for 20. Foreman was 14 for 42.
Yeah, that was a 36-yard run on that.
Plus, Watson had the rushing touchdown.
He did.
So if you take that away from Ford, he ended up with a little under 30 yards, 28 yards on 6 more attempts. Not particularly stellar, but not horrible.
They actually tried to run the ball with Jameis Winston.
Yeah,
that was smart.
Sneaks. That was smart. Those are good plays, actually.
That's a smart play because he is kind of like
if he gets
Jacoby
injured
Brissett
and it's out
was.
for 8 weeks, who cares?
No, Jacoby Brissett was like the same way. Big guy, big size guy, and he's really good at running that. He knows whether to just plow forward. The other time he went left because he sees things, and he's a veteran. And I thought that was real smart. We got enough pressure to get a safety at the end of the game, Jim. And yes, that was Fabio's fault because he should have just gotten rid of the ball, but he would have been grounding then because he wasn't out of the pocket either.
No.
Yeah, but listen, the secondary, they dropped 2 interceptions. Yep. I was like, oh my God.
It did.
Well, I don't see that the Browns really have anybody, with the exception of Emerson, who has decent hands. Ward doesn't.
No, never has.
I mean, Newsom doesn't.
Koromoa is
Emerson
more
had
interested
that.
in hitting people.
Emerson had that for a pick six.
That's why they're defense. That's why they're defense and not receivers.
Yeah. The only person who could get
but I get that, but that was a gift wrap right there.
Yeah, but I think that he rolled over and tried to get up so quick to run with the ball that he himself jarred it loose. I couldn't see because they didn't show it from another angle, but it looked like he rolled over and the ball came loose. And I don't know how that happened, but I think he was trying to make a bigger play out of a play. And, that's something that when the defense has the pressure on them because the offense isn't doing anything at a given moment. And if you make a big play and it gets taken away because of a foolish mistake by the kicker, then the next time around, the defense is saying, well, geez, we don't have to just make a play. We got to make a play and score. And that's exactly what happened. No, it's exactly what happened with the safety, wasn't it?
But see, people are saying the front four wasn't getting enough pressure. On that pass that Emerson should have picked off, they had plenty of pressure.
Yeah.
You just have to make the plays.
Well, and I'll tell you, anybody who thinks that Fabio is the answer for the Jacksonville Jaguars, he's going to get Doug Peterson fired, is what's going to happen. Fabio is erratic, slinging the ball all over the place inaccurately, taking sacks at the worst possible moment, and time has passed Fabio by. Everyone is now talking about CJ Stroud. There's a whole new crop of young quarterbacks to pay attention to, and he's no longer one of them. He's 0-2 and headed for, as Mike Tyson would say, he's headed for Bolivian.
Bolivian, yes.
Yeah.
The Marvin Harrison Jr. hype is real.
Yeah, they're kicking
ass. Already in that game, 4 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Oh, wow. That's outstanding.
Yeah, they're up 21-0.
Who is?
The Rams.
The Cardinals.
Well, those of us that saw him in Columbus believe it. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, he was a pro before he left. Just.
And he took his last game. He took a real vicious shot.
Oh yeah.
I agree with you, Keith, 100%. Their job isn't to intercept passes; it's to break them up. It's first and foremost to keep passes incomplete, and I totally agree with you. Yeah. But sometimes when it's put right in your hands, it's frustrating that you don't get that turnover that you need. We need half a field. We need a half a field head start. We really do. Because when we get the ball deep in our territory, it's like 3 and out, and it's a real problem.
All the people that are criticizing Watson, I think that this week they have nothing to say.
Oh, yeah, they will. Sure they
probably
will. Yeah.
Well, I mean, not for the first half, but maybe for the second half. But again, part of that's on Stefanski, too, with what he likes to call.
It's on Stefanski in the line. It's the fact that when you're running for your life and people are trying to plant your ass, it's a little hard to get your feet set to throw the ball.
Here's the offensive stat line for Watson. He was 22 of 34 for 186 yards, only sacked twice for 14 yards.
Which is a miracle.
64.7% completion percentage. That's a Bernie Kosar kind of fucking thing.
No, it's a Baker Mayfield kind of thing. Why don't you just tell the truth? Hello?
Well, I don't know.
Why?
Well, Mayfield had an 11-yard touchdown run today, and they beat the Lions finally.
Yeah, they finally beat the Lions. And how many yards did he throw for?
Let me pull up there.
Come on. I mean, you're throwing the numbers.
I can get it.
Numbers.
He was 12 of 19 for 185.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Blow me.
Mediocrity.
What?
They won.
I'm
they
saying
won
today was an actual.
They won despite him.
That's funny. You know, it was like Green Bay.
No, they won because of him, because he scored the final touchdown of the game. So
yeah, Green Bay. I mean, did you see the numbers Jacobs put up on the ground to protect the fact that they don't have a quarterback?
Hey, I'll beat you with that. Sam fucking Darnold. Why don't the Browns or the Panthers get fucking Sam Darnold?
Because
that's the
they
best
don't have
quarterback.
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, when you have the best
point.
wide receiver in the game.
We have no receivers. We have no offensive line. If we had a fucking offensive line and fucking Justin Jefferson, we'd be kicking these teams' ass.
Well, not to mention the 49ers lost Kittle. He got carted off.
Oh, really? Sorry to
Yes,
hear
he did.
that. That's too bad.
Well, but they were, I guess, playing on artificial
and
turf.
no Kittle.
And Jay Flask, he also showed glimmers of real goodness in the first half. So,
and by way of comparison, here's Malik Willis, who came out of a small school.
Yeah.
He was 12 of 14 for 122 yards and a touchdown today.
And that means they didn't trust him to throw the ball very much.
Correct.
Well,
Hey, so move.
122 by 14. I mean, that's over 7 yards an attempt.
You know what those? That's Snoop Huntley line there.
Huntley.
Underarmed.
I have a question.
He's underarmed. Go ahead.
So listen, everybody that comes on your podcast, y'all should hit the like button. I hit it all the time. He needs more than. No, I'm just saying you need. I know you don't care about it, but
we love Moo.
You need more than just 3.
Yeah, but I mean, again, this is a very. I've told you I've done this for so many years, and this season, more than any other, the viewership has just nosedived, and I think the reason is because there is such a separation between the fans who just want Watson to lose, and it's just like the big crevice in the middle of our society. Everything is half and half. That's the way everything is. And so people don't want to view a program that doesn't believe exactly what they believe politically or religiously or whatever it is. And I don't control that. I don't control that. I'm just telling you what I think about things. I'm not a staunch Deshaun Watson lover. I thought that the deal was a shot in the dark. It could work or it could not work. It was kind of a Hail Mary, and it hasn't really worked out so far, but we are 1-1, and we did get better from week 2 than we were week 1. God only knows we couldn't have gotten worse.
But,
you know,
we could have actually gotten worse, but you know, I was like, okay, today he looked like something kind of similar to Houston, so I was happy for him. You know, he's not the person that we need. You know, nobody would pick him, but he's the one that we have.
Yeah. What do you mean nobody would pick him? There were 4 teams vying for him.
I know, but they
almost ended up with the Falcons.
That would have been great. That would have been great. We would have had 3 draft picks, first round.
And what would we have done with them?
I have no clue. I don't know what they would have done.
Nothing on offense. Nothing to make a wide receiver.
More
Ryan
quarterback. Mohamed Massaquas and fucking
Mohamed Massaquas.
Thank you for that.
So, let me throw a stat line at you for today, okay?
Oh, go ahead.
18 of 30, 176 yards, 5.9 yards per catch, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked twice. Would that be somebody you'd be interested in?
17 of 29?
Was that Brock Purdy?
18 of 30.
Yeah, who is that?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, look who he's playing for. I mean, and again...
And he's got Garrett Wilson, for gosh sakes.
Yeah.
Who I would trade all of our receivers one-on-one for in a heartbeat.
Well, Saleh is the defensive coordinator, and if they're counting on Aaron Rodgers in his goofy conspiracy theory mind, he's trying to figure out reasons why, he's not still on Jeopardy.
You're talking about, another over 40-year-old trying to play football.
Right.
Yeah, but well, how about this one? This is another great stat line. 14 of 20 for 130 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Justin Herbert today.
Justin Herbert.
Yeah. Now, granted, they're playing Carolina, but they only
they're playing the
30 yards.
Well, and
they ran the ball for 219.
Yeah, look at J.K. Dobbins' stats.
Yeah, they had turnovers too.
They're fucking Bo Jackson like.
Yeah.
And
131 yards.
Yeah, we would have picked Bryce Young with the first pick. Yeah, that's probably what would have happened.
Something.
No, they wouldn't have. They would not have.
Oh.
They
wouldn't have picked C.J. Stroud.
Christopher.
What was it?
They would not have picked C.J. Stroud. I can guarantee you that, because they had a shot at Deshaun Watson and ended up with Deshaun Kaiser.
I don't know. I think Watson's a lot better than Kaiser.
Yeah, we sat through Kaiser.
Everybody on this panel is better than Kaiser at quarterback.
Is Kaiser even still in the league?
I don't think I can take it.
No, I don't think he's alive.
So
he's
a big thing I do want to talk about is that the Guardians won 2-0.
Yeah, they did. They fucking won.
And the Royals lost to the Pirates. So we're back up by 4, which is a great turnaround for this team.
Absolutely.
And, cheer for the team that's actually holding on. And you look at who gets the job done. And Ramirez is starting to hit again. They brought Angel Martinez back up. And he went 2 for 3 leading off because Stephen Kwan, they're saying that he's dealing with...
He's got the yips, I think.
Body exhaustion.
Wow. That sounds like me.
Got to change his diet. Yeah.
Hey, we're 2-0 today. That's great.
That's it. It is great. And, another great performance, 5 innings, shutout ball from Ben Lively in that game. And then Clase comes in for his big league leading 45th save. Can you imagine? Clase has a .66, 0.66 earned run average.
Yeah, even Bob Gibson didn't have that. Can I make a comment about the Guardians? I mean, when you slated that Joey Cantillo or whatever it was 2 weeks ago, he went out, nearly pitched the perfect game the next start, and then fucking wins the next start that he has. I mean, I think you should call out more Guardian players. Lane Thomas is hitting now. He's hitting 400 the past 2 weeks. Make fun of all of them, and then they'll start playing better.
Yeah, you got to humiliate.
By the way, there's 12 games left in the season for the team. So.
Yep.
No,
I have it on.
And looking at the standings, the AL Central has 3 teams in the playoffs.
Wow, that's mental.
Well, I have it on great authority that
they need more hitting.
I was going to say from an insider that Lane Thomas attributed his surge in hitting
Moohead Radio
to an obscure podcast on YouTube.
It's all down to Moohead.
He got sick of being called lame.
Lame.
Absolutely.
God damn it! I'm going to hit that baseball and.
Steelers are up, by the way, 7-0. Justin Fields is 3 for 4 for 32 yards with 1 TD pass. But they're playing Denver, who God only knows.
Hey, the Bengals are driving on the Chiefs. They could go ahead here.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows who's going to win this year? I mean, all we know is that the Carolina Panthers are going to suck. So just keep betting money against them, and you'll be fine. Don't bet on anything else.
And pick if you're into the FanDuel or whatever fantasy leagues, pick the quarterback, pick the defense, and then pick one of the other offensive players.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins.
Now, why does Denver's quarterback sound like a guy who's shaving? Bo Nix.
Ow, that's gonna hurt.
Oh, by the way, he played at Auburn.
He did.
Yeah, and you know what I do?
And then
So
Oregon.
he's got the Alabama thing going too.
If I were an announcer
What would you do?
and I was watching Bo Nix play and he threw an interception, I'd go, Bo! Bo! Bo Nix! Bo! Boo! Just Homer Simpson it.
Bo! Oh, I think the Bengals just scored. Did they call that a touchdown? Who's watching?
I don't know. I'm not watching it.
Jesus
You're...
Christ, Matt
behind
Prater
you.
just kicked a field goal.
Oh, God.
He's got to be
must be
like
behind.
874 years old.
Oh, that's a fucking Bengals are beating the Chiefs.
Geez, how about the
Joe
how about the-
Burrow, superstar.
how about the
You got to
Saints
do
going-
that effect again.
How about the Saints going into Jerry World and just beating the fucking tar out of the Cowboys?
But that's been the
Oh, there you
problem with
go.
the Cowboys. I mean, you know, if they start
fucking-
laying down, Dak got his payday.
Correct.
And, you know, again,
44 points.
Jerry Jones is not known as the most brilliant
Normal.
guy. And we just weren't ready to play. I mean, if
Yeah.
that's what happens to them at home against the Saints.
Yeah.
Well, and something I'd like to bring up something else. You know, Pete Rozell's big thing was always, oh, we got to have parity in the league. Well, look at how many one-score games are in the NFL.
We got
this
that
weekend.
now.
I mean, outside of my game and the Saints game,
And the
a lot of
Cardinals
them are
and the
pretty
Rams.
damn close.
Yeah.
The Commanders won by 3. Minnesota won by 6. Seattle won by
Packers
3.
Yeah.
Hey, Pat Seagramson, how you doing? I love it when people come back briefly to the fold. You know, it's good to see you. And what else was I looking at here that I was going to throw up here? Oh, here's another quote from our roving reporter, Big Lurker UK. He made some plays. That's who he is. He never blinked.
That's why it's
That's
right out.
Stefanski on Deshaun Watson. So,
Wow. Well, a less mobile quarterback would have got ass raped with behind that offensive line. Let's be honest about that.
Hey, the line played better today, though.
Only in the first
No.
half.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
listen, they actually played better because last week it was horrendous.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was an improvement. Yeah.
But couldn't you also attribute that to who was rushing on the other side of the line?
Correct. There was no Michael Parsons. And
Dallas.
Yeah, but
I
look
think,
what,
I think
okay, so
kind of makes those weak guys look even weaker.
Yeah.
How soon till they
So-
play the
so-
Bengals?
no, wait a minute. So what did Micah Parsons do today?
Obviously not.
Well-
not enough.
No,
see,
but he
okay,
actually had to
so-
probably
The
go
Saints
against
have a much
actual
better
starters from the NFL
Yeah,
rather than guys who
exactly.
should be on the practice.
let me answer Pat here. The Illuminati took him away. The Ravens fan that comes in here, the
Shipley. Joe
that-
Shipley.
Joe Shitley is a coward. And the fact of the matter is he will never show his face after a loss, and he'll only be a
Correct.
trash talker after his team wins. So, you know.
As they say in the UK, he only sings when he's winning. So there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, exactly.
Sing when you're winning. You only sing
and then he'll
when
come
you're
in and say,
winning.
oh, you know, I really love you, Moo. You know, I really love you, but your wife's a whore.
Well,
Hey.
two games
Oh
out of the
my
next
God.
3 are against the Giants and the Commanders.
Well,
So
damn it, we gotta win those.
you might actually end up with some more wins.
Well, who knows? I mean, I wouldn't
They need him.
put any money on any of that.
But you got to play the Raiders, the Eagles, and then you get the Bengals.
I think the Raiders are a team that's
They're
Joe
beatable.
Burrow.
Although the Ravens
Well, they
Joe
just
Burrow-
won today.
Raiders
just
are
won
helter
today,
skelter.
but beat the Ravens.
They're doing
Yeah,
enough
but-
they did go in and beat the Ravens, but yeah, they're a team that's beatable. The G-men are definitely beatable. The Commanders as well. I mean, those are two teams that, you know,
If you don't beat the Giants, something seriously.
yeah, it's probably time to
Seriously wrong. Yeah.
I'm looking for something that I can share. with the audience. If I can do a share screen here.
Hopefully, not no STDs, please.
Still haven't found what you're looking for.
Yeah, me and Bono both. Yeah.
Oh no.
No, it's Bono.
No
Bono
mono either.
skied into a tree. Yeah. Let me see
Bono.
if I can find
Well,
this.
it could be John Denver and fly into the ocean.
Yeah.
Hold on. This
no,
it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do this.
Matthew Stafford
I'm
just
so
got planted.
bummed out.
Hey, Moo.
Yes.
So, I told you about Nola, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
the doggy.
Right. So where is she? She's running. There's a cat named Jinx.
Mr. Jinx.
Mrs. Jinx.
Oh, Mrs. Jinx.
Oh, absolutely. And she absolutely misses the other dog. Because the puppy
missing pussies, that's for sure.
The puppy, she's so aggressive that she's like, where's my Mellow at?
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, this is her.
I got to try to do something here. I'm sorry if I'm distracted.
It's all right. We'll keep this conversation going without you. So
let's see what we have here.
Let's talk. We were talking about quarterbacks that we had the chance to get or whatever. I mean, you remember when Patrick Mahomes got drafted and Kansas City jumped in front of us to get him? I mean, obviously we would have ruined the guy, but still.
No. That's the draft where they traded with or with Kansas City out of that pick.
No, I thought it went the other. I thought they jumped in front of us. I thought we traded with somebody else after.
No, they traded with Kansas City to take Deshaun Watson because I was like, great, they can still pick Deshaun Watson here, and they didn't do it. They traded out, and then they got an early second round pick from Kansas City, and that's when they picked fucking Deshaun Kaiser. And everybody's like, what? You can pick him in the fourth round.
They traded Kaiser to Green Bay, didn't they?
Yeah, after the season.
Actually, yeah.
When they won 0 games. And then we had there was the big parade, the winless parade in front of the stadium.
Yeah, but Kaiser didn't do nothing in Green Bay either.
No, because he was the backup.
That rocks.
Mahomes.
Can you believe it? She has gone on a fitness regimen that you wouldn't believe.
Damn. Go, Rox. Go.
Yeah. Rox is hot, man. She is hot.
Well, congratulations, Moo.
You better get your ass in shape because otherwise she might dump your ass. Trade up.
She could join the Jacksonville Jaguars cheerleading squad right now.
Yeah.
Rox ain't gonna leave Moo.
All right, there we go.
Look,
see, this is what I have to look at on the screen all the time. You know, it's just
there you go. So
not fair.
That draft was the Myles Garrett draft, and Kansas City traded with Buffalo.
The Octobox.
They traded with Buffalo to move up to 10. Cleveland had the 12th pick.
They had the 12th pick, and they traded out of that pick.
They traded out of that, and that's where Houston took Watson. So they had both those options to have both those people.
Yeah, Watson and Mahomes. But anyway.
David, it's an early bird special for David, okay? I just want the early bird special, and I'll be going to take a nappy afterwards.
But when
it's after 5 o'clock on the East Coast, so That's
when they traded Watson to Houston, they got the same draft picks that Houston got to get him back.
That's one way of looking at it.
Well, I'm just saying he was great down there, but we, half the people we got for that trade, they didn't even make it.
Wow.
Pat, I have a feeling that Bitonio is going to retire at the end of the year. It's just a feeling. I don't know anything. I don't know. If I knew something, I would not bring it up.
Is he half the line?
You can only take so much fucking losing.
I mean, Conklin's done.
Yeah.
Conklin's dead. Ooh.
He's not even going to make it to the end of the year.
I don't know how much more Teller has left in him, but
wow. Red Zone
he's got a lot more than
Joe
10.
Thomas
Go ahead.
retired.
What? Who?
Remember how Joe Thomas retired?
Yeah.
He blew out his elbow or something, and
pec
and
muscle.
that was it.
Right before the Minnesota game in London, he got injured right before that game. I never got a chance to see him play.
Yeah. So, I can't blame anyone playing the game as long as he's played it to get out of the game. I, applaud anyone who's had a great career, and he's been great for the team and great for the city. But
he's got a really young kid too, who's only like 5 or 6, maybe.
Wow.
I'll tell you, CO Dead, the answer to the question, because it isn't one position. The thing is, this is a 53-man roster, and this is
Start
an
with
11
the play caller and work your way down.
An 11. I would say no. At this point, we need offensive line, because even average running backs can find a way to get 4 yards and put you at least in a fair. They have to guess whether you're going to pass or run thing. But, our guys run sideways, they, I don't know what the deal is, but they're not fast and they don't break tackles. So if I were to improve one position, it would be offensive line, because our guys are old and injured. And it's the only way. That's why I was saying, start over. The Cleveland Browns need to start over because they're just playing on fumes. And it's going to be week to week with Conklin. And at the end of each week, he's going to go, I got it. I ain't got it.
Well, and Joel Bitonio didn't become Joel Bitonio without Joe Thomas being right next to him.
I mean, Bitonio's still solid. There's, the interior 3 are still pretty damn solid.
The regression on the, you have two things. You had Callahan go away, and he obviously made a big difference.
And you had a lot of injuries too.
And there's just physical attrition. Just physical attrition with age. We didn't, and the people we brought in who were younger, I mean, DeJuan Jones ends up limping off the field, and our guys who are younger, they don't have the guts and the grit that they should have to play this game anyway.
Oh, who was that guy that they released, the center that was the president of the NFLPA for a while?
J.C. Treader.
J.C. Treader, yeah.
But
you don't have a guy that can play that position and control the line of scrimmage as far as doing all the line calls, and still be able to play through bad ankles and bad knees and play hurt.
I don't believe I've ever seen a game where Posich, the center, had 2 holds called on him in a game.
Yeah.
There's just a lot going on, and it's hard to figure out. Look, we're 1-1. It's better than 0-2. And, you just play it 1 week at a time and see what happens. Games. It's just like the Guardians. You play them 1 game at a time. You don't look ahead. You say, all right, it's the next game. It's the next game. It's the next game. I sound like Stefanski, but
now,
it's the
Cooper's going to have an 8 reception, 3 touchdown game next week.
Yeah,
because we slagged him off today.
Well, one other thing
playing the Giants, so
one other thing that we didn't mention, and that's that it was raining through most of this game, and I can't help but think that had an impact on the track that they were running on, and the quarterbacks throwing the ball, and the accuracy and the amount of yardage that each pass attempt was, there's a lot at work, and both teams really underachieved offensively and gave each other endless opportunities, when they were snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Both teams did it. And if I were a Jags fan, I would be furious that they didn't go for it. That they didn't go for it when they had a big Mo on their side, because even if they'd failed, we would have been way deep in their territory, and it was just, I don't know. It was a surrender of sorts.
To be able to kick the ball 65 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what the bad thing is? The Browns were being nice when they let Callahan go with his son.
Yeah,
I would have never done that. I would have never done it.
No.
Well, they also got rid of Stump Mitchell and some other guys.
Yeah, but I would have never let my line coach go anywhere.
Wow. Yeah, well, but they did, and now we have Angie Dickinson.
You know who we need to hear from?
It's a lady running the line?
No, Andy. I call him Angie.
Oh, okay.
We need to hear from
Dickinson.
Yeah.
We routinely change the names of people too.
All the time.
Mostly dead people.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Speaking of which, we need to hear from James Earl Jones because he's dead. You got to announce the next game with James Earl Jones's voice.
Yeah. Is that in Cleveland or is that in New York?
Cleveland.
Cleveland. It is in Cleveland.
Not that it really matters much to me. But I will say this. I'm not going to be anywhere. I'll be watching from heaven. I'm in heaven.
I felt bad. 93 years old. James Earl Jones was a talented guy.
Correct.
Yeah, real talented guy. And, I feel bad when, but 93, he lived a damn good life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
he still didn't see the Browns in the Super Bowl, though.
Yeah. This is CNN.
Yeah. And the other thing is I want to see a dog eat J.D. Vance.
Wow.
That would be what you call comeuppance.
Wow.
Well, you're probably more likely to see a dog fuck Camel Toe Harris.
Wow. I don't think that's the case. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. That's the thing. You can't help yourself, can you? I know.
Well, like I said, it's got to be balanced.
Balance. You abandoned the Browns, and you're here by my good graces.
So wait, Moo. Them people in Springfield weren't doing
But it was
that.
my choice to come
They
back.
they just weren't. And that makes no sense to me.
What?
Jesus Christ, this fucking Christ.
No, when they said, "Oh, they're eating dogs and cats," that's not happening.
I mean, I wanted to see if any restaurants had picked that up in Springfield, but no.
No, but
they're
every
not doing
stupid
that, man.
YouTuber alive
I
is
don't-
out there right now, walking the streets.
I don't even know where that came from. I was like,
some idiot posted it in Reddit.
Yeah, well,
And
actually, it was
somebody else picked it up
a
somewhere.
Facebook. It was a Facebook chat, is where it came from originally, and it was one person in a big chat who made that comment. And this thing that's scary about it is we're monitored here on social media. So whoever the people are who are monitoring from the Democratic side and the Republican side, fuck you both. Fuck
There's
you in
several
the
different
ass.
governments monitoring.
That's not what the internet was made for. And it's so pathetic that it's being used as a surveillance tool. I can't stand it.
But you know what the problem was? The problem is that they were destroying property, and the Haitian people kept their kids from school from all the bomb threats and all that. That made no sense to me.
More guns than anyone has ever seen in history. Yeah. I know. I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody.
Me neither.
I mean, that's the last thing that I would want is for any presidential candidate or politician just to get gunned down. That is the last thing, because the second you start, getting violent,
you start a civil war that way.
You've lost all of your good sense.
Yeah.
So anybody who's calling for heads like that they are losing.
And we had a Bernie supporter fucking do that to the Republicans on that softball field,
Yeah, it is not a.
Yeah, but
I don't believe that it's a political statement. Honestly, I think anybody who's mentally ill, like the person who shot up the school, in Atlanta, anybody who's ill to that degree, a 14-year-old
school shooters,
a fucking 14-year-old.
No, but wait a minute. You had January 6th. That wasn't a kid.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It wasn't a kid.
Get the fuck over it.
No, Jesus Christ wouldn't have approved of all these guns. If you're bringing his name up, he wouldn't. I mean, that's not, I mean, Jesus would have pulled out a revolver and killed Judas if that was the case. But that's not the way the story went.
Well, they didn't have revolvers back then. But...
Yeah, well, he would have hit him with a big fucking rock.
They had rocks. They fucking stoned people to death back then.
Murder is murder. But there's no reason why people like this should have.
And you can't ban rocks. Can't make rocks illegal.
But what people have painted themselves into a corner where it's like guns, and more guns. And people, unfortunately, who are not mentally stable are utilizing these weapons. And if Donald Trump had been shot in the head and killed, maybe that would change some people's perspectives.
I think it would make it worse. So then you have J.D. Vance running for president.
The fact is, there was
necessarily
no good reason why the guy was on the roof, how he got on the roof, how he was wide open, people are pointing at him. I have no idea that, and I know for a fact the bullet did not hit Trump, did not hit his ear. His ear is completely intact. That big bandage thing, which he stopped wearing and then put back on 2 weeks later, that was just publicity. And the whole thing is warped. I mean, somebody died at that rally. Somebody was shot and killed, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
And nobody
on
deserves
January
that.
6th, that was a former Air Force veteran that was shot and killed by an over-aggressive cop, and nothing happened to him. And by the way, the shooter was black.
So let me tell you. Nobody in the Capitol got killed. None of the police officers.
No, the one that died days later because of a heart attack or something.
So the lady that was trying to go through the glass, she didn't get killed.
What?
The lady that was trying to go through the glass, she didn't get killed.
He was shot and killed by a fucking cop. Yes.
Well, we're not gonna figure any of this out, and this is not gonna turn this into this.
This is your show, man. You need to mute everybody.
No, you said F off to me, so F off back to you. How about that?
All right.
That's just in. We're all just people.
Yeah, well, I'd like to say I wish it were a happier world. That's for sure.
Sorry,
and you know something? Whoever wins the election, you support whoever wins the election. You accept the results, and you move on with your life. Because
that's never going to happen.
What's more important than anything else is your health, your family, the people around you, and the people that you can help. Those are the things that are most important. And beyond that, and my apologies, again, we don't want to go in this direction. There's too much division as far as politics in today's society. And I don't want to go there anymore. And if it gets brought up, the people will just be immediately bounced. And, this isn't a vehicle for that. God only knows everything else has become a vehicle for that.
Don't need a vehicle. That's why we have the Ides of March.
Yeah, how about those Browns, guys?
Yeah. So at any rate, we're done because it's been an hour and 10 minutes, and I'm happy the Browns won. They're 1-1. It was not necessarily auspicious, but it was a win, and we will take a win.
A win's a win, baby. A win's a win.
Victory
If
Monday.
they do it next week, you know what they call that? A winning
streak.
There you go. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to this post-game show. And we'll be back again tomorrow. Take a look at this. And maybe, with 24 hours separation, maybe, I'll see something different. I'll think of something different as I watch the game a second time. And I will, come up with something that gives me an understanding of perhaps why the second half was just so incredibly different than the first half. Pat, it was good to see you too. And thanks, Hammer Time and David and Bronk and Tony and Brian and Christopher. You shouldn't have left, Christopher. I love the fact that all the people are here, and I hope it continues. So we'll be back again Monday. Until then, hasta la vista, Pasture Heads. Good night.
Goodbye.